Let us pray.
Father, we bless your name and we glorify you. We know that you are with us. We know that your Spirit is with us. And we know that the blood of Jesus will still cleanse from all unrighteousness. Lead us into the scriptures. Lead us out of the wilderness. Bring us into the rest of Canaan. Father, we are praying that in this church, marriage will be marriage. And the family will be a true Christian family, where there is joy and love and peace and harmony, where there is true sharing and fellowshipping together. Guide us today. The little we say, water it from above. Let it bear fruit. In Jesus' name we pray. Yesterday we should have talked about the leadership in the home, which we have called the delicate position of leadership. And I want you to imagine yourself sick, and yet you don't know what is wrong with you. I want you to imagine yourself just not perfectly healthy, 100% healthy, and you don't know what is actually wrong with you, and therefore you have to visit a clinic, and you have to sit before the doctor, and he just examines you, and he tries to see what is wrong so he can make the prescription that he ought to make. And you know when you are there, because, well, you are going to pay him for his services, and he likes you to come back again. You know, he is going to do the best he can do to help you identify the problem, locate the problem, and bring solution to the problem. Now, when marriage is not exactly what it ought to be, the solution is not with God, it's in God. And except you get into God, you never can find that solution. Jesus is not going to reign over your family. He is going to reign within your family. If it's just to reign from outside, if it's to control like a governor in his place of living, from outside, controlling the country, but he lives far away, just to control, Jesus will not accept to do that. Therefore, he doesn't reign over you or over your family from a long distance. He likes to come in, sit down, have a central conspicuous place in that family, and then from within he controls. From within he manages everything. From within he directs everything. So if we have been thinking that Jesus will reign over my family from a long distance, just sending messages to me, no, he wants to live right there. And the wife of a preacher called him one day and said, darling, he didn't know what the woman would say. Yes, my wife. And the wife said, wouldn't it be wonderful if you are as nice as you are in the meetings? I mean, in the meeting you are so nice. You counsel, you lay hands on the sick, you are so gentle, you are just the father of everybody, and you can't be the father of 3 at home. That it will just be, we don't want more. Just be as nice as you are in the meeting, that's enough for the family. And you know, sometimes too, that is it. We can preach faith to strangers, but not to the wife. We can endure for the backslider, but not for the wife. We can do all we can to sacrifice and to love. We can give hours without end, ministering to strangers, to people we don't know. We just like to, we want to get them to heaven. But we like to stay, to go to heaven without our family following us. So you see, it's a delicate position we have in marriage. And I'm not going to beat about the bush. I'm not going to try to talk to the wife, talk to the husband, talk about children. I won't have all the time for that. I'm just going to talk to the men. Now, the women are here so that whenever you are just going up. Now you women understand. Now if I go to the doctor and I say that, look at my hand, it's swollen up, and he wants to cut it, and he just takes the knife, he cuts it, and then draws out the pus, I'll scream the roof of his hospital down. It will be too painful. What does he do? He takes anesthetics, rubs it on, deadens that place, cuts it open, removes the thing, closes it up. By the time he closes it up, the feeling will come back again. You see, the wife, to remind the husband, you remember what they said at that time, at the retreat? You remember that? You remember that? Before you do that operation, love is the local anesthetics. You put that love in. You sacrifice in love. And after that love, then you are ready for operation. To remind your husband, honey, you remember what they said? They said this and that. Because already you have put the anesthetics, it's not painful. You put it without that love, it will be painful. And so the wives are here so that they can, help their husbands. You love them, you understand them, you put the local anesthetics before you, perform the operation. Then you remind them. After the love, you speak the truth only when you are in love. Speak the truth in love. Some people love to tell the truth, but it doesn't work. It's only when you tell the truth in love. You are close with love, your language is all loving, your attitude is love, your temperament is love, everything within you is love. Then you can remind your husband what was said. Now about the headship of the home. Let's see Ephesians chapter 5. If I could quote a verse you have never read, I'll be so happy. If I just came and I read to you and say, is that in the Bible? I'll be so happy I was reading a verse you have never read. But it's unfortunate for me this morning. All the verses I'm going to read, you have read before. So you have to be very, very careful. Like a Baptist, excuse me, Baptist. Now it's like a Baptist who has not been saved but has been going to Sunday school all through his life and has been hearing, for God so loved the world, and he has not got saved. And now he comes into the meeting and the evangelist is preaching on salvation and he says, for God so loved the world, you lose him. He says, I know that already. He's not saved. I know that already. And so you see, sometimes the difficulty is we know the Bible, and now as I open Ephesians chapter 5, I've not said the verse, but it's verse 25. Verse 25 now. I'm trying so as to get you relaxed, so I don't feel all tense up and don't swallow the pill I'm going to give you. The gospel pill, God's pill. Now, Ephesians chapter 5. There in verse 25. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word, that he might present it to himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be holy and without blemish. You can only have a wife that you deserve. If your wife is bad, that's all you deserve. If your wife is good, that's all you deserve. If your wife is foolish, that's all you deserve. If your wife is wise, that's all you deserve. Christ makes the church the type of church he wants by his sacrifice. And the wife that you deserve is the wife you have at home. If she is not what she ought to be, sacrifice more, so you can have the type of wife you actually know you need. That's what this passage is saying. Husbands, love your wives, that you will love as Christ loved the church and gave himself for it, for a purpose, so that he can sanctify that church and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word, and then present that church to himself. What type of church? The type of church he wants. He sacrificed so as to make that church available, so as to present that church to himself, a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that church should be holy and without blemish. Christ loved the church in a realistic manner. And that's how you have to love your wife. Your love must be realistic. You say, what does it mean for my love to be realistic? Well, something that you can almost touch and feel and handle. Something concrete. Your love must be realistic as the love of Jesus Christ. Not the love of words. Not the love of, I love you. Empty words that carries no action with it. The love of Jesus was realistic, and so our love for the wife must be realistic. And the love of Jesus was never diminished by anything the church did. Never. The more sick you are, the more care Jesus will give the church. The more dry you are, the more Jesus will be present to supply the need of that dryness in your spiritual life. There is nothing in the church that can decrease the overflowing of the love that is coming from Calvary, and there should be nothing in the wife that should ever decrease the love flowing from the husband to the wife. It's realistic. I'm assuming you are taking notes, because this is just about an hour's message, but it will take a year before you can obey it fully. Because this is not automatic. I've heard it, I'll go and do it. This one is different. And so your love must be realistic. Nothing in your wife, nothing she does, nothing in her behavior should decrease that love. Husbands, love your wives. If the Bible had written, husbands, love your wife if they are saved, if they are good, if they are nice. To have given us chance to maneuver, to turn around it and give the excuse, well, my wife is not lovable. You realize, when we were without strength, Christ died for us. When we were unlovable, Christ loved us. Then the sacrifice of love is very plain here. He gave himself. That's love. Love your wives even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it. That means, 1, your love is realistic, 2, your love is sacrificial. Do you ever sacrifice anything for your wife? Think about it. Can you sacrifice sleep for your wife? Your wife needs attention, but you like to sleep. And your wife says, can I talk with you? Don't you use ordinary common sense? I've been busy since morning. I went out. I had to do this. I had to do that. And now you realize that I also preached tonight. And here am I, I've just come to the house. You should do the cooking. I just relaxed. And now you say you need attention. I'm sorry. But now after that, a new convert knocks at the door. She needs attention too. She is under persecution and things are tense. And she knocks. Who is that? I am so and so. Oh, come in. Very nice man. Nice preacher. What do you need? The persecution is so terrible. I'm having real trouble. Sit down, tell me. Because she got converted last week and she mustn't backslide. You give the next 2 hours to counseling her. And then your wife, living at home with you, cannot get 5 minutes of counseling. You're always tired. Anytime your wife wants counseling, that's the time tiredness will come. Anytime she needs attention, that's the time you'll say, understand now. Love your wife on the cross. Write it down. That's sacrifice. Your love will crucify you. You love her to the point that actually your feelings are crucified. Your motives are crucified. Everything is crucified, and you are loving her from the cross, from the standpoint of the cross, that sacrifice. So Jesus Christ loved the church sacrificially. Now please, wives too, in Titus, you are told, in fact, the aged women are supposed to teach the young women to love their husbands. Love their husbands. Now, you realize that sometimes, as men, we have liberty and opportunity. When the wife is pregnant, you know, it's wonderful on one side that a child is going to be born. It's not very nice, not very wonderful on the other side, because, you know, the first 3 months, she's cooking your food, and all of a sudden she smells that soup, and then she goes to the sink and begins to vomit. And you look at her, the sink is very near the place where she's cooking your food. And you say, what is all? Are you the first person to be pregnant in the world? This is too much. And you know, at that time, that you will really need to love her. I mean, that's the time I'm talking about. To actually love the wife. At that time, she is not, you know, when the tummy is, you know, out, and the dressing is not as it ought to be. You know, she's not as beautiful as on the wedding day. I mean, let's face it. When something is attractive, it's easy to love that thing. When a woman is attractive, you are going to the altar. You don't hear this preaching on the wedding day, love your wife. You say, if I don't love her, why am I here? I love her. But you know, the time I'm talking about, when she's so tired, when she's in a special condition, or when she's sick, that's the time we're talking about. That you will really need to be on the cross to love that wife as a sacrifice. That's what the scripture is saying. As Christ loved the church, that he gave himself for it. Now you've had 3 children, 4 children, 5 children, and you're a preacher. And here you are. You want to read the Bible? The children are making noise. Can't you take care of these, your children? I mean, when you want to read Bible, it's our children. But when they dress up and they look nice, and you comb their hair and you put on the tie, and that little boy is walking, and you know, somebody at the Bible study looks at the child and he says, this fine boy is a wonderful boy. Whose child is this? How you come and don't you look at that, look at the face and look at the face. Don't you know that's my child? I mean, when the child is well dressed and everybody in the fellowship is saying, this is just wonderful, just the replica of the first, that's my child now. But when you want to read the Bible and the children are making noise, that's our children. And you know, at that time, if you are not very careful, at that time, you are not careful, what you'll do is just to find another place in town. I mean, because God wants you to read the Bible. God wants you to pray. God wants you to be an effective, able minister of the New Testament. You'll go and you'll pack your load partially to another house. In the fellowship, not that you go to commit sin. You go to read Bible. You go to pray. To be with a bachelor somewhere. To live in another place somewhere. So that you can have time to read Bible. That's not love. That's selfishness. You want to know more Bible than your wife? Your wife needs more Bible than you do. She is going to take care of those children. That needs Bible. How can your wife go and live in another place wanting to study Bible so as to teach the children? It's more difficult to raise children than to raise up a church. Your wife has a more difficult assignment to do. Stay with that wife. The children are making noise, stay there. So that you can understand all the problems that your wife is going through. If your wife is spitting when pregnant, ask her, you need more toilet roll? Go on and go and get a toilet roll. That's love. Leave your Bible, leave your fasting and praying. What do you need? No water at home? Go for the water. That's what I'm talking about today. Sacrificial love. But at that time, when the children are there, instead of feeding your part, you go and call your mother. Your mother is not saved. Who could be a witch? I mean, I'm serious here this morning. Who could have familiar spirit? Not born again. You go and call your mother to live in that place. instead of you and your wife taking care of your children. Then you go to call the unsaved, or you go to call nanny somewhere. Even nannies who are in the fellowship, what Bible do they know? When the child is crying, what do they say? Have they studied how to take care of children? Which nanny will take 5 books on child rearing and child training and read because he wants to take care of your child? No nanny will do that. And if you are going to train children, this Bible, you must read every passage that is connected with children. In the Proverbs, in Deuteronomy, in Matthew, in all the New Testament. Which nanny will do that for you? But when you and the wife, when you are able to handle the problem, you say, these are our children. I am making noise about it now because if Jesus tarries 15 years' time, what we sow now in the home, we will reap 15 years' time. Those children, they will smoke Indian hemp. They will be throwing stones at the church like this. They will slap pastor because they are born in the church. They know all the full-time workers in the stage. Because the full-time workers have been coming, to something. These are the children. We are bringing them to a workers' retreat from the time they were born. And they are not taken care of. They know Brakumui. They know Brother Shafet. They know Brother Akiola in Port Harcourt. They know everybody. So if you say, well, look nice, how about Brakumui's child? Are we not smoking the Indian hemp together? What do you mean by look nice? I mean, when Brakumui has to supervise the work in Nigeria, go to the east and go to the north and go everywhere. As to children, well, that's a small child. The child doesn't know anything. The child doesn't know anything. The child has become a criminal before you pay attention. If you are preaching to the point you are not able to take care of the children, lessen the preaching. Go slow. Take care of the children. What I'm saying is that it's both of you together that will take care of the children. And you don't say, well, I'm being disturbed at home, then you pack out. You are inside that house. You love that wife sacrificially. Sacrificially means you're able to sacrifice sleep, you're able to sacrifice the attention, you're able to sacrifice your prestige. Now you realize, sometimes you've got married before you became a believer. And before you made any success in life, after your marriage, you went to grade 2 teacher training college. And your wife, is still the same old modern 3. But realize, listen to me, your wife is not grade 2 like you are because you cannot combine grade 2 teacher training and pregnancy. So realize that your wife has sacrificed education to raise up the children. Then after grade 2, you take A level at home. You make it. You make it because you don't stay in the kitchen. If you have to cook in the kitchen, you will never get advanced level. You make it because you are not carrying pregnancy. So don't deceive yourself. It's not because you are brighter than the wife. The wife cannot make it because she is in the kitchen. She is carrying pregnancy. She is nursing child almost every 2 years, or for some who are very, very lucky, every year. And in such a case, the wife is so busy taking care of you, taking care of the house, taking care of the children. And now you go to university. All of a sudden you are a graduate and that woman is still her modern 3. You begin to say that we don't match. What do you mean you don't match? She is a slave doing the cooking, carrying the pregnancy, nursing the children, to give you a chance to go to university. Now you come back. You don't realize that all your pay packet to come and lay down at her feet because she is the one that actually got that certificate. She is the one that allowed you to go up and down, go everywhere you want to go. And you pastors, before you have a large church like you have now, you are just an ordinary fellow. You say your wife doesn't know Bible. If you have to cook, you have to raise children, you will not know Bible too. If you have to sit at home, clean the floor, clean the kitchen, wash the dishes, and bring up the children like she does, you too will not know Bible, but since you are free, you and your shirt, you are going. You will know Bible. If I'm like you, I will know Bible too. Because you see, you have all the time to pray, to do anything. Wait. You know that the husband is the head of the home. Because he's the head of the home, he has one room apart, separate. Nobody can reach and nobody can touch. If the wife has a separate room like that, that no children can get there, no husband can get there, she's the only one having that key, she'll become a Deborah overnight. But she doesn't. You put signboard on your door as husband. This place is under restriction. Nobody must come and disturb the minister of God. And you will become an Elijah. But wait a minute. You read about the wife of Elijah in your Bible? Children of Elijah in the Bible? If there is no wife, there is no child. You'll be an Elijah overnight. You'll pray, you'll fast. But Samuel had a wife. Samuel had children. You see the name of the wife there. The children, you see them following Samuel, the first prophet of Israel. That means to sacrifice, means that you sacrifice your convenience. All those untouchables, unenterable in the home, scrape it. That's love. You mean, bro, that my wife can come to the room anytime, just disturb me? Oh, yes. While you are praying, she needs money to go and buy pepper, bro. I need money to buy pepper. I know you are praying, but I need money. It's hard. This is Christianity, 1st century, from the Bible. Marriage is not a joke. It is sacrifice. You will sacrifice your very life for that woman. And then Jesus loved the wife purposefully. You know, there's purpose in love. Realistically, sacrificially, purposefully, he loved the wife. Because it says that he might sanctify and cleanse it. In verse 27, that he might present it to himself a glorious church. There is a purpose in love. Now what's your purpose in your love? To bring deepened unity. It will take thought. It will take prayer. It will take work. It will take patience and persistence. Now, you know something? Your wife studies you. If she doesn't, she'll never be able to cook your food. She may study a book, a cookery book, but she needs to study you on your appetite, on what you like, on what you don't like. Because she doesn't know you were brought up. She doesn't know what type of food you normally like, what mommy will cook for you when you are much younger and you want that same thing now. She has to study you. So she has to study when, if she's a good wife, when your clothes are dirty, to wash them, iron them, get the thing done properly. She has to study a number of things about you to be able to please you and meet your need. And you have to do the same thing before you can please your wife and actually love her the proper way. You have to study your wife so that your love will not be misdirected. You will be able to love purposefully when you have studied her, and then you'll be able to give her the time and the thought and the attention, the prayer, the work, the persistence and the patience that is necessary. Now, you love willfully. That's number 4. Realistically, sacrificially, purposefully, willfully. With no motive or motivation outside of Jesus Christ, he loved the church. He willed to do it. He determined to do it. He purposed to do it. And therefore he loved. Love is not sentimental. Love is a determined action that you take towards your wife. Love will deliberately close eyes to what things are not as nice as you like. Love will deliberately speak in wisdom. Love will deliberately speak so as to help the wife, encourage the wife. It's a willful thing. Where there is no will, where there is the will to love, there will arise the feelings of love as well. But you don't love just because you feel. You love because you're determined to do it, because you will to do it, because you purpose to do it. Therefore, he loved willfully. We must love willfully. And then, number 5, he loved absolutely. He loved the church absolutely. It wasn't a limited love. It was without limit, without condition, without reserve. When we love the wife, there must be no limit. When we love the wife, there must be no condition or strings attached. When we love the wife, there must be no reservation. And that means we love her in all areas of our lives and involvement together. And those of you men who are sitting inside, you are working, I want you to answer this question privately in your heart. Does your wife know how much you receive in the place of work? Well, she doesn't. Why? You need to know my wife. If she knows that this is how much I receive, everything will finish in 1 week. So I just know that it's useless telling her. Aren't you a failure then? Because a wife has been living with you for 1 year, 2 years, you can't teach her financial management. Aren't you ignorant yourself? Because I've told you before, you have the type of wife you deserve. If the wife doesn't know how to manage money, sit her down. Teach her. If you teach her, she will understand. Because the grace of God is available. So when you receive your money, your salary, or you are a trader, you've got the money, you put everything. There's no reservation in love. And are there some untouchable areas of your life that your wife can never ask? But you know, when there is no skeleton in the cupboard, I mean, you will just throw it open. Now, somebody has written a letter to you, especially a lady. Well, just a convert. Just somebody I knew before that I was counseling. I mean, nothing serious, nothing private. And then this letter came in the letter box before you actually came in. And your wife said, this is an interesting handwriting. This handwriting is fine. Looks like handwriting of a lady like myself. And then opens it and reads it. And then you come back and you say, then she says that you have some letters. And, you know, some of them are just things that are typed. Others are real letters. And, well, I opened 1 or 2. What do you mean? Oh, I thought we were husband and wife. Therefore. Well, anyway, in any case, I've made a mistake already. I opened this one, and this one is, I'm surprised, this one, the way she is talking. And she knows you are married. That's what I'm saying. Never read my letters. Your love has reservation. There are some letters you can receive. Not letters, not just because of the ministry, not just because a convert is writing to a leader, but because there is a clause in that letter she mustn't know. There is a type of writing. I mean, when a convert is seeking for counseling, there is a plain way she writes. The problems are there. But all the other parts, brother, I need this counseling, and I just want to remind you I love you so dear. Real counseling, that is not there. I mean, a wife should not read a letter like that. There will be trouble at home. But your love must be without reservation. That there is nothing you are hiding from the wife. I mean, anybody that's spoken to you, you have discussed anything, the person should be free to talk to your wife. State representatives. I'm not throwing any bomb. I'm only saying that your wife is the closest person to you in the stage. Man or woman, the closest person to you in the stage. On the work of the ministry, on the approach to counseling, on anything. Anybody wants to see you, they are free, or totally free to see your wife. Because, I mean, your wife is living with you. They can send your wife to you. I just wanted to see the status on this problem. This is what I want to discuss. I mean, you are counseling in the sitting room. Your wife has to pass. There should be no law in the home. Where there is real law, I mean, the wife can, quietly pass, will not disturb you. After all, your typist, while you are counseling, can come to you and say, bro, that letter you told me to type, is it on the pencil or just on the tired paper? Your typist can do that without you raising an eyebrow. If your typist can come in when you are counseling, if your typist can pass on, just pass along while you are counseling, are the wives in prison? Do they become unlucky because they have married state representative or married a preacher? They must be free. This is the Bible, and this is love. If it is not like that, there is no love. If there is reservation, if there's something we are hiding, if there's something we are covering with a blanket, love is missing there. The love is absolute. Well, the wife is a Christian, is a child of God, and hopefully she's not going to come and just disturb you and say, I heard at the workers' retreat that, while you are praying, I can just bring money for Pepe. I mean, if she takes loss into her hand because of that, maybe she has evil spirit. But you see, we're just saying that these are opportunities we have so that we'll really be husband and wife at home. Love one another. Be free with one another. Be able to talk our minds out between ourselves and our wives. I mean, how would you feel? I mean, as a real preacher, dynamic, deeper life preacher, you're just coming into the auditorium. We're ready to preach on a Friday miracle revival hour, and your wife meets you, and you want to minister the miraculous power of God, and here you are coming with the fire of God upon your heart, and your wife meets you. Can you smile? No. How can you smile to your wife in public? That's backsliding. I mean, when you want to manifest the power of God, to really be dynamic for God. I mean, the moment your wife sees your face and sees the fire of God in your face, one way lane, she goes another place. That's not Christianity. That one is being sanctimonious. That one is pretense. I mean, you see your child at the fellowship center. You can't hold your wife, your child is saying, Daddy, Daddy. Mary, take this child. This is what I'm telling you. I mean, as a fellowship, while I want to preach with the power of God upon my life, look at this child saying, Daddy, take him away. Marriage. Deeper life marriage. That's not Christianity. It's a crime to laugh, to smile with your wife. I mean, say, just met you and wanted to ask a question just for 1 minute. I mean, even the ushers have more power than your wife in the fellowship. I mean, they can come to you, bump at you, and they can tell your wife, I just want to see bro. Which bro? No, this is fellowship center. You cannot. You've given your usher so much power like that even your wife is under everybody, and she must, it's like in the army, obey first and then complain. And she obeys first and there's no time to complain, because at home she cannot talk. In the fellowship she cannot talk. You want her to die? Don't you know that lack of love can give a person sickness, depression, and just make her die prematurely? Or deeper life has another wife for you if you kill that one? We must be very careful. Our love must be sacrificial. Now I'm looking at 1 Peter. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife. Have you ever read that in the Bible? I mean, we give honor to God. We give honor to Jesus Christ. And we give honor to the leader. But to the wife, no. But the Bible says, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife, as unto the weaker vessel. What does that mean, weaker vessel? Does that mean her salvation is not as serious as the salvation of the man? No. Does that mean she's not able to manifest the sanctification experience as the husband? No, sir. Does that mean she is not able to manifest the power of God in prayer as other people? No, sir. It's telling you something basic. The tears of women are closer to their eyes than men. You may not understand, but just write it down. I mean, you touch them like this, the tears will flow. It's like a pipe. You just turn it like this and the tap will be running. That's the weaker vessel. She feels. I mean, little things she'll never think about will make anybody to feel anything she'll feel about it. She'll be unhappy about it. And it disturbs her prayer life. It disturbs her attitude, her relationship with people. And you know, when a wife is unhappy from the home and she comes to the fellowship, everybody will think that she's a devil. Sister is never happy. It's not her fault, it's the fault of the husband. If the husband makes her happy, she'll be happy. Women are the easiest people to make happy on the face of the earth. I mean, give only little peppermint to her and she's happy already. I'm sorry, please, I'm sorry. And yet they are the most, the easily offended people. I mean, do it. Just take a little 5 kobo away from the money for the food. You don't explain why. Already they are unhappy. I mean, very easy to be pleased and made happy and made to laugh and made joyful and very easy to offend. That's the weaker vessel. And you must deal with them with understanding, with knowledge. Because that's your wife. And I'm sure you want her to get to heaven with you. And says, as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. That your prayers be not hindered. Now you wonder why there may not be all that you need in your ministry to pray, to bring the power of God down. Maybe the source of the hindrance is the home. Maybe your prayers are being hindered because there is no unity and there is no love, there is no harmony in the home. Only 7 things I want to point out of this passage here. 1 is tenderness. You act in tenderness to your wife. Do not demand that the wife do exactly as you do. You know, sometimes that's the problem we have. We want our wives to do exactly as we do. Oh no, you are a man, she's a woman. You are organized, she is disorganized, self-centered. If you show disapproval when things go wrong, why not show appreciation when things go well? You know, when things are wrong, the food is not good, we talk. The ground is not clean, we talk. The children are dirty, we talk. Money goes fast, we talk. When things are bad, we talk. But when things are good, we keep quiet. That means you are not balanced. If you talk when things are bad, you must talk when things are good. Avoid a domineering behavior. I mean, avoid making it look like there's a lion and a sheep in the home. And the sheep, if she doesn't want to destroy herself, must always live in the cage, because the lion will have that domineering spirit. It must not be like that. Let it be like sheep and sheep. The strength of character is above physical strength. Sometimes the strength we manifest as husbands is just the physical strength. It should be the strength of character. Number 2, there should be common politeness in the home. Any marriage will be successful if the husband and wife was polite to each other as they are to total strangers. So, be polite to your wife. And your wife, I hope I've not lost you in the crowd. You also ought to be tender towards your husband. You also ought to be polite towards your husband. Show consideration, which you expect in a large measure from her. There should be sociability. That means you should be able to laugh at home when things are funny. I mean, just laugh it over. You said, my wife, I just liked a toast this morning. You women, you don't know what is a toast. Ask other people when I finish. That means, you know, you bake or you burn the bread a little. You got it. But you know, while your wife is putting that bread there, she's going to fix the diapers for the child. Then she remembers that you need to get water to bath, and then she's gone for that. By the time she comes back, that thing is totally burnt. But, she doesn't want to start all over again because you are rushing to the office. She puts everything there. Now, the whole thing is burnt. Your breakfast is spoiled. If you are not careful, that can spoil the whole day. Because you get moody, you get unhappy, you get sad, you show it. By the time you get to the office, you remember that because the morning is very, very important. If the morning is clear, the whole day will be clear. But if the morning is cloudy and gloomy, the whole day will be cloudy and gloomy. And now the bread is burnt. So what do? You say, my wife, you just make fun of the whole thing. Just make her laugh and you laugh about it. That today when Leviticus were presenting a burnt offering to the Lord. And she says, what do you mean? Well, I just mean that, today I just sacrifice this. Just give it to the Lord as a burnt offering. Then she will get what you are saying, but there's no quarrel, there's no fighting. You just laugh about it. You drink orange or water or something, you are gone. And your day is clear. Your mind is clear. You are happy. No, the wife can never make you sad. She does anything, maybe she turns on the stove and the whole thing is very hot and it's very warm at home. And you see there, and there's nothing, on the fire, the water has boiled and boiled and boiled, but the water is dry. It's only the pan now that is just being fried. Nothing in the same, because the woman puts the water there, turn on the fire, high speed, and then she's gone to do other things. She's forgotten everything. By the time you see it, the whole kitchen is hot, as if it's going to just burn up. Now if you don't put the thing off, you say, come and look at you. This is what I'm saying. When we are saved, our brain will be affected. But we just have this coconut there is nothing. We put water on fire, everything else, look at it. You look at it. Okay. If I talk now, you say you want to counsel people. You want to counsel people. Ordinary water on the fire you can't do. You want to counsel. The wife will feel like a square peg in a round hole. Because nothing good about her. Her dressing is bad to you. Her language is bad to you. Her cooking is bad to you. Taking care of the house is bad to you. Everything is bad to you. If she doesn't commit suicide, it's because if they hear, what will they say? That's the only reason. But the whole place is hot and you come in and you say, come and look at this. And then she enters. You see how hot? To spend 5 minutes here will be terrible. But thank God we have escaped hell. Just draw a lesson out of it. If it can be so hot like this with only a kettle on the fire, hell will be very hot. And thank God we're not going to hell. Then you put off the thing. She has got her lesson. But you are humorous at home. Everything is full of joy. Anything she does, you are able to turn it around and laugh about it. Just enjoy yourself. That's marriage. But the marriage that we're almost putting this codget, or what do you call it? Whip at home. Now you say you don't have whip because you are deeper life. Because deeper life people, they don't beat their wives. You see, my father used to use this thing. He'll whip you. My mother, never. But my mother, her tongue is as long as my father's whip. She will talk. When she talks, you know you are bad. My father, he will not talk. He takes it out. It's a man, he doesn't have time. Once you've got it, you go and sit down. But the same thing with my mother. No cordial, no whip, but the tongue will do the same work. Husbands outside who are not born again. Denominational husbands. He used the whip physically. Deeper life people, we don't use the whip. No, if you are born again, you can't beat your wife. But the tongue is as long as the whip. We slash them, we beat them. A number of things that people do. Until the wife will just go to the toilet, because if she goes to the room, you call her. So that thing that we talk, that's why you went to the room and locked the door. This examination you have. Examine it. So she will not go to them, she goes to the toilet. You will think that she's making use of toilet. What's she doing? She's crying, saying, God. And you say we cannot divorce. And we cannot live separately. God, when are you coming? When is Jesus coming? So I can be out of all this. In the fellowship, I'm not able to do anything. He says, I don't know Bible. And true, I don't know Bible. How can I know Bible? Can you know Bible if you study Bible with a confused mind? If you are sorrowful and you carry Bible, will you understand? If you are depressed and unhappy and sad, and you go to take Bible and read, will you get any word out of it? If the wife is always bad, always rebuking her, always there is a problem, and she's always saying, I'm sorry for every day at night before she sleeps, because she wants a tender conscience. Every night before she sleeps, the duty of the day is, bro, I'm sorry for the one in the afternoon, or the one in the morning, or the one in the evening, or the one at the fellowship, or because I kept late at the market, or because the food wasn't ready. Every night the duty of the day must be done. I am sorry. And the husband, never sorry. I mean, he's the husband. He is the head of the home. That's how we put it. The delicate position of headship. That thing can send you to hell in 2 minutes. To be a head of the home. There should be sociability. Love one another, be jovial with one another, help one another. There should be understanding. Understand your wife's temperaments and peculiarities, and be patient. Our feelings fluctuate. Now I'm going to ask you some questions. You men, after you became a husband, did you ever get any book to read on the anatomy of the woman, on pregnancy, her feelings and things like that? You see, why do I read all that? That's her business. She ought to read that so as to know how to take care of her pregnancy. That's the problem. You don't know how she would feel at a particular time. When she looks depressed, you have no answer, because you don't understand how she feels in the body. You don't know the things that affect her. But you should understand your wife's temperaments and peculiarities. You say, but if I don't have any books to read, you have the best teacher at home. You say, oh, is that your wife? I'm the best person to teach you how I feel. You can't read in a book. You can read general things about it in a book, but I'm the best teacher to tell you how I feel when this happens. How I feel when this happens. And your wife is the best teacher on her feelings. She wants to pass across to you how she feels when this happens. That's the best teacher. She is the one. If you allow her to talk, she will tell you. And you do it after this message. I don't mean here, because there's not much time here. But when you get back home, say, all that bro was preaching, I count it as theory. How do you see it? Your wife will say, you count it as theory, but you are saved. And he said that sometimes a little sin will make you happy, a little sin will make you unhappy, and you are saved and sanctified and baptized in the Holy Ghost. Is it true? Your wife will say, sit down. I will lecture you this time. Because, we take them for granted. We don't understand. But must have understanding. There must be fairness in financial matters. After you've written it, look up at me. Long ago when I was a bachelor, sometimes I had time to cook, sometimes I didn't have time. But whenever I went to the market, if I went on my own, I put 10 naira in my pocket. When you come back with something. And when you are a bachelor on your own, you just go to the general market there, 10 naira, 20 naira you take, you go to the market, you buy vegetable, you buy onion, you buy everything, you buy Maggi cube, that's what you call it. I have not forgotten. You see, you buy all this, 20 naira, everything is there, gari is there, rice is there, 20 naira. And now you've got married. This is 1984. And you stop going to markets. You call your wife. The 20 naira of 1976. That's what you bring out. You say, go. Take care of it very well, no, because there's austerity. Then she takes 20 naira. And it will not cook soup. Since you have said she should take care of it very well, she goes to find dried fish. The one that was almost spoiled at the sea, and they just dried up for you. And then puts it in the soup. You eat it and you say, what is this one? She said, that is 20 naira. You get unhappy. This one has no nourishment, no vitamin. You want vitamin? Bring out naira. Things have changed. I recommend, when you leave this place, next week, go to the market with your wife. Let her give you the list of what to buy. Vegetable, onion, pepper, meat. Just go with her. Do it yourself, just once, please. But please take up to 50 naira with you, so you don't get disappointed. Buy those things yourself. You will understand things have changed. No more 1970, this one is 1980. 84, thank you. Things have changed. The market has changed. A tin of milk before, 20 kobo. I mean, many years, some years ago. When was it 20 kobo? You women, tell me. Talk now. What? January 83, 20 kobo. What is it now? 70 kobo to 1 naira. Within 1 to 2 years, and you are still giving 20 naira for food for 1 week. Things have changed. So that means we must be fair in financial matters in our marriage. Then please, number 6, private correction, public commendation. Now, look up at me here. Have you ever found a doctor you want to have an operation? And then he tells you, well, NEPA has taken away light, come out here. And right at the premises of the hospital, as people are passing and going, says, remove your shirt. Begins to examine you. Then he puts on the anesthetic there and then cuts you. Right in the open, as people are passing. Do they ever do that? Never. Correction is like an operation. Now, you think about it, human. When you are here, and I correct you openly, even though you are a man, I'm a man, how do you feel? You feel a little bit unhappy. You feel a little bit of shame because of other people. But if I called you, I said, please come, and we walk far away. And then I said, my brother, look at this one. This one is not good. This one is not good. How did you do it like this? You say, my brother, I'm sorry. In private, you'll be corrected. You'll say, I'm sorry. If I call you here, just say, Brother Samuel, where you stand up, and then you stand up. Why did you do this? Immediately, the way you respond is, you find a way to defend yourself because there are other people around. I heard the state representative yesterday. You didn't know what I was going to do. I said, state representatives, come out here. Your mind went this way, that way, that way, that way. What's he going to do? Because this boy is, sometimes like a criminal. You can't say what he's going to do. Because everybody fears public correction. But we do it to the wife every day. We slaughter her publicly. Cut her open publicly. Every day. In fact, sometimes, as we're here now, you're leading Bible study in your location, and your wife is just coming in. But wait a minute. You must think, why is your wife just coming in? If before you left home as a Bible study leader, you went to dress the child up, you cleaned her up, you helped her to take her bag. That's the love I'm talking about, sacrificial love. You took her bag, you put her Bible there, you brought her scarf, you put everything there, you put water. My sister, bath. This is water. If you do that and she does the bathing, she takes her bag, which you are packed, you get into the car, she rides in your car with you, she will not be late. But when you are the car owner, and you get into the car, and you are the back, as the car owner, the landlord of the whole city, and your wife is the one that will dress the child, clean the child, do everything, she will come late, at least once in a while, or perhaps every time. And then she's just coming in, and you know why she's coming in late. And now, since you are the head and the leader, and as a preacher, when the preacher is preaching, nobody else can talk. And as you're just coming in, and you want to be firm in this ministry, you want to be a real leader in that ministry, you don't want anybody to come late, and this your wife laying a bad example. You are the one laying a bad example. If you did what you should do at home, she will not be late. And then you say, look, everybody look at her. That's the preacher's wife. Just coming to fellowship now. We have sang choruses. We have given announcements. You people have told you heaven. And I've told you not to come late. Don't see the example of anybody. Pastor's wife doesn't get us to heaven. That I am church representative's wife, that doesn't get anybody to heaven. See her now. Therefore, I'm telling you, don't look at anybody's example. And then, hey, come in, sit down. The little you are able to hear. If it benefits you, thank God. She will not hear anything at the Bible study. Her head will be turning. Her eyes will be dizzy. She'll be sweating. Her blood pressure will rise. She'll be afraid. She'll be doubtful. She'll be thinking, did I make a mistake in choosing this man as the will of God? We're killing these women. And they are dying. You test it. They get more sick than we are sick. I mean, we men, what are you sick about? The life is intact. But that woman is already becoming old. I mean, look at, as you are sitting down here now, you say you are men. Look at your face as fresh as you are. Some of you, 40, you are fresh like 25. Let your wife become 40. And look at her face. She is pining away. Sometimes, you know, the man, look at me now. You can tell I'm married. You see my chest? You know, women, I mean, you just sit down, you eat, you say, my dear, where is the orange? You drink orange. Where is the purple? You take purple. And you will get fat. But go and look at the woman. The collarbone here. This one here is what you call collarbone. It will come out like this. You see how you say, this one, God have mercy. The same orange is there. It's only husband that can drink orange. If wife drinks it, you are getting spoiled. You're drinking orange, this austerity. Taking purple. But the man is the head of the house. And the head must eat everything. The head must change the dress. Take care of himself. But the wife, there should be private correction and public commendation. Never slash your wife outside. Never. Please. Not only in the meeting. You're going on the road and there's another person in the car with you. Never do it. Reserve it. Make it private. Wash your dirty clothes inside. When you do it with real care. Because criticism, it kills. Even when it is constructive. It's very, very hard. It's like putting salt into your eyes. Water will come out. Like, you know, when I was much younger than this, the people I was living with, they said I wasn't reading my books well. You know what they did? They put pepper inside water and rubbed my eyes with it so that I will not sleep, so that I will read. I didn't sleep, but I wasn't reading. I was thinking, which wicked people are they? And when you criticize publicly like that, your wife in particular, I mean, the wives never do that. Never. They don't have the opportunity. Can they come on the pulpit? Or while they are teaching the scripture, you divide into groups, and your wife is teaching one of the groups of the scripture. And she knows your faults. I mean, who doesn't have faults? Is there anybody here who doesn't have any faults at all? Are there angels here? Everybody has faults. If anybody knows your faults, your wife knows your faults. When she's teaching the scripture, can she come out and while teaching her own small group and begin to talk about, you know, Christianity, sanctification, and then she will not find any example to use from the market, from the farm, from everywhere. The only example she can find is the husband. Which wife has done that in this ministry? No wife. They are more respectable than we are. They are more conscious than we are. They are very careful. They love us. But we don't find any other examples. It's they we find. We slash them. So that is the thing we're saying. If you're a real husband, there must be private correction. And let it be few. You know, don't every day correcting. Be happy with her. Commend her for things that are good. There should be honesty and truthfulness and being straightforward. Honesty, truthfulness, straightforwardness. Now my time is gone, therefore I'm going to just do some things now. I want you to write husband down. And if you don't know how to spell husband, you raise up your hand, I'll do it for you. Because I am one, and I know how to spell it. You write husband down, but write it downwards. No chalk here. Any chalk around here? Chapel, you have no chalk. You've forgotten how to teach. Ralph, how can I have chalk? Everybody say, praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. You know what Job said? Job said, I've made a covenant with my eyes. Why then should I look upon image? And that's in Job 31 verse 1. After he's got married and got children. In fact, many children. And for men to be holy in conscience, they have to keep away from all ladies, all women. There must be no nothing of any secret personal feeling between you and any other lady. You must be holy in conscience. That's a real husband. H, understanding in conversation. Understanding in conversation, correction, and criticism. Have we written that? Now, as I've been talking on conversation, on our talking together at home, on correction or criticism, in Proverbs chapter 15, verse 23, a man has joy by the answer of his mouth, and a word spoken in due season. How good is it? I've already told you that when you correct or criticize your wife publicly in the presence of other people, it's like slashing her, cutting her, and it's like pouring sulfuric acid on her. Sharp, sudden criticism is an arrow thrown at the heart of the wife. Uncontrolled, thoughtless, explosive disagreement with accusation and criticism will destroy love, destroy fellowship, will destroy creativity and initiative and joy. Now, I heard of a type of plant. I think it's the Indians that do it. They want this type of plant to be kept to size. So they have a way. Thank you, I've got one. They have a way of trimming the top. Now, have you ever seen people trimming the top of flowers? Yes, you have. But this thing, they have a way of digging around that particular type of flower. Then they take it out, they trim the underneath. They cut the underneath, the roots, and then also trim the top. And then they plant it in that same position again. Next year again, they'll dig it out, and they like to keep those things in a proper shape. They cut down to size. And what I'm asking you is, if you cut your wife at the root and at the top, she'll remain at the same size. She'll never grow. Criticism. Public correction. It's like cutting her above, cutting her below, cutting her privately, cutting her, publicly, cutting in the fellowship, cutting with your family. When your mother is there, your father is there, her people are there, just cutting on her, cutting on her, cutting on her. She'll never grow. She'll just be in that size. You say, does that mean we can never correct? We can correct. But I'll give you 12 points on keeping your correction constructive and positive. Number one, when something goes wrong, don't just assume you know who is at fault. But whenever things go wrong at home, we just decide immediately, I know it's my wife that is wrong. No, it may not be your wife. So number one is, when something goes wrong at home or anywhere, don't just assume you know who is at fault. Give her the benefit of the doubt before she talks. Number two, get the facts, not supposition, before you speak on the issue or the problem. Number three, make it clear to her just what is wrong. Don't pull in a number of other things. And that's how you did this last week. That's how you did that last month. That's how you did that last year. Don't pull in other things. Just pinpoint what is wrong and make it clear to your wife, or to your husband, those of you are wives, just what is wrong. 4, manifest love and control your temper while you're speaking to correct her. Don't criticize in an attitude of pride, arrogancy, or anger. Speak to her in private, personally, never openly. Number 6, praise her. Find something to commend. Show interest in her welfare before you criticize. I told you before that love is the local anesthetic that allows you to perform the operation on your wife or your husband. Before you criticize or correct, love first. Number 7, share your part of the blame. I know you are not all getting it, but you'll get it from those who can write shorthand when we finish. Number 7, share your part of the blame. Take responsibility for her mistake when it is possible and mean it sincerely. Tell her you know an area where you have contributed to that fault of hers. Number 8, listen to her side of the story. Create a good atmosphere for her to talk. Number 9, protect her dignity and personality, please. That's as you are correcting or criticizing, if it's positive criticism. Number 10, suggest specific steps to prevent the recurrence of the mistake. Suggest specific steps to prevent the recurrence of the mistake. 11, pray for her and pray with her sincerely and in faith. That is, after correcting her, don't let her go like that just with sorrow and sadness. Just pray together after the correction. Assure her again of your love after the correction. Number 12, forgive and forget. Bear no grudge, let love continue. Now that's understanding in conversation, correction, and criticism. Now, S. Strong in caring and compassion. Strong in caring and compassion. Remember, we are spelling husband. Because if any of this is missing, that's not a real complete husband. And that's what we're taught in Ephesians chapter 5, verses 28 to 33. Strong in caring and compassion. The same thing in 1 Peter chapter 3, verses 7 to 10. Be blameless in conduct, at home and abroad. When your wife is with you and when your wife is not with you. Blameless in conduct. That's B for the husband. That's Philippians chapter 2, verses 14 to 16. A, abiding in the covenant. You have made a covenant for better, for worse, abide in it. You've made a covenant until death do us part, abide in it. Abiding in the covenant. Malachi chapter 2 verses 14 to 16. And Matthew chapter 19 verses 4 to 6. And noble in courage. 1 Samuel chapter 17 verses 34 and 35. Noble in courage. That passage is talking to you about David, how he protected the sheep, animals, so courageously. And if he protected animals that way, how courageously should you protect your wife? You protect her against all dangers of gossip, all dangers of society, all dangers from in-laws. You protect her. D, dependable for contribution at home. 1 Timothy chapter 5 verse 8. If any man does not provide for his family, is more than an infidel. Worse than an infidel. And 2 Corinthians chapter 12 verses 14 and 15. Dependable in contribution. Husbands, what is age? What is you? What is S? What is B? A. N. D. Think about it. If anybody is just like that every day of the year, that's all the husband and the wife need. They don't need more than that. You are holy in conscience, you are understanding your conversation, in criticism and correction, you are strong in caring and compassion, you are blameless, you are abiding in that covenant and you are faithful to it, you are noble and courageous as to defend and protect them, you are dependable in contribution. That's all they need. Now wives, let me come to you. You write W-I-F-E, downwards. Have you done that? If you write small w, that means you feel you are a small one. Write big W, that means you're a real one. Now W means wise in communication. What does Proverbs say in chapter 14? Proverbs 14. Verse 1. Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands. In chapter 15, verse 2, the tongue of the wise useth knowledge aright, but the mouth of the fools poureth out foolishness. And the first part of verse 4, a wholesome tongue is a tree of life. And therefore the first thing you want to take care of and take care of is your communication, your talking, your tongue. Wise in communication. I, innocent in character and industrious in caring. Innocent in character. No other man knows you. At least now that you are born again, now that you are a child of God, no other man knows you. You understand what it means? Knows you. No other man. You are innocent in character. Anywhere you are, innocency is your clothes. And you are industrious in caring for the home, for the house. F, you are faithful in companionship. Still F, you are forgiving during conflict. You have the conflict at home a few times, but then you are forgiving. That's the F of your marriage. Forgiving during conflict and faithful in companionship. E, excellent in comfort and counsel. You see that your husband has any trouble, you are excellent for comfort. Excellent in comfort and excellent in counsel. And if we're like this, the husband will enjoy us. If husbands are like this, the wives will enjoy them. As we bring everything to a close, Luke chapter 6, verse 46. And why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say? Already we have learned many things today on the delicate position of headship at home. And obviously we have many things to repent of, many things to present to the Lord, many things we have to tell the Lord, we're sorry for the way we have taken marriage. We now want to approach marriage in the proper way.